Meta actually loves the Apple Vision Pro. But why is this? Well, to understand this, we first need to understand Meta's meteoric rise and fall and then rise again as a company. When Facebook rebranded to Meta, they received a lot of mixed reactions. Like most large-scale tech companies, they of course had a solid strategy to work around, but the problems lied elsewhere. From the get-go, not a lot of everyday people took the Metaverse concept seriously. And even a few years later today, most people see VR headsets as a gimmick or just a toy, which is clearly far below Mark Zuckerberg's ambitions for the company. During 2021 and 22, Meta experienced one of the biggest falls of a tech giant in recent years, losing 75% of their stock value in a little over a year. Faith in the Meta concept was lost, and together with other factors, the company went into crisis mode. A lot of investors in Meta and business analysts expressed concerns about the cost of developing the Metaverse compared to the benefits, which in turn led to an even steeper downfall and at record pace. But now, a little over a year later, Meta have climbed back to their peak and then some. This is in large part due to some shrewd business decisions rather than tech innovation, but they have of course continued to create a variety of tech gadgets as well. We covered the recent Meta smart glasses in a previous video, an idea that highlights Meta's focus on making their products more consumer-friendly and trendy while they work on expanding the capabilities of their tech with their VR headsets, like the recent Quest 3. The ambition is probably for these two opposites of wearable VR and AR to meet in the middle and create a legitimately useful product that people can utilize every day, like a smartphone or smartwatch. But where does Apple Vision Pro come into all this? Apple have been developing the Vision Pro for quite some time now, and along with the release that happened a few weeks ago in early 2024, Meta were quick to show support for their competitor rather than disdain. In the eyes of Zuckerberg, any success that comes along for the Vision Pro is also success for the Metaverse concept. With Apple's new VR headset, or spatial computing system as they refer to it, any mainstream adoption of this type of technology serves to legitimize the entire field, which in turn is a huge win for the company that now exists mainly to provide this tech. The Meta Quest could even be seen as a cheaper entry point into the world of the Metaverse, since the Vision Pro currently costs at a minimum $3,500. If someone is interested in trying out VR technology for the first time, the $500 Quest 3 or the even cheaper Quest 2 could be much more accessible options. Of course, these don't serve the exact same purpose, and Apple's refusal to call it a VR or AR headset indicates that they want it to be seen as something else. But the success of the Vision Pro will nonetheless create a lot of buzz around the whole idea, and Meta wants to capitalize on that. With their successful stock recovery and newfound interest in virtual reality, spatial computing, whatever you want to call it, Meta are more pumped than ever to try to make their Metaverse come to fruition. A common belief is also that Apple will release a lower-cost version of the Vision Pro later when they have let the hype simmer a bit more and the apps and use cases have become a lot more apparent. The release of this first edition, high-end version of the Vision Pro has already made developers and creatives begin to imagine all sorts of ways you can use it, like gamification of everyday tasks or immersive entertainment experiences. From here on out, it could become a race of Meta gathering the attention of the newly interested people back to their own company, and Apple making their tech more accessible to the masses. Other companies will likely also want a slice of this tech cake, so expect a lot more in this field in the near future. The return of Meta as a serious global player in the world of tech giants was perhaps not completely unexpected, but the rate at which they have recovered is pretty much unprecedented for a corporation of their size. Zuckerberg isn't exactly known for creating ideas of his own. Anyone who watched The Social Network will tell you that much. But he is clever when it comes to capitalizing on large trends and wider social changes that others perhaps have yet to even understand. And so we will see how the whole Metaverse venture pans out as this technology could become a larger part of our lives. It's still odd for most people to see someone wearing their Vision Pro out in public, but the same could be said for talking with hands-free headphones just a few years ago. So who knows when it comes to 1, 2, or even 5 years from now. But what do you think? Is the Vision Pro just another overpriced gimmick, or will it revolutionize computing like Apple claims? Will Meta gain from all this attention as well, or are they reaching here? Let us know in the comments down below. For more tech comparisons, Apple and Meta updates, and everything else tech, make sure to subscribe to the Tech Oasis channel. And you should take a look at this video next to see how Apple accidentally killed their Apple Car concept before it could even launch in the first place.